As you can see, I went ahead and I cut my felt out until you're ready to use the pieces of felt. I would go ahead and leave the patterns pinned on. When you cut this felt out, you want to be sure that you cut evenly. You do not want to have anything sticking out past the patterns. Okay? And just cut smooth and slow. And again, the nose is placed on the fold so that when you open it up, you have a full beak that you'll be using on the duck. Same with the stomach. When you open it up, you will have the full tummy. It will look like this. Okay? Now what you're going to do is take the blue fabric that you cut out yesterday. I can only show some of this on the screen, but you get the idea. So go ahead, take off your pattern. Be sure you put your pins back into that little piece of fabric I gave you so you don't lose them. Okay, so there's our fabric. We just want to use one piece of the fabric, the blue fabric. The other one you can fold up and put in your Ziploc bag. I'm going to have this drawing on the board so you can see where the pieces fit. The tummy will go in this area, and then right next to the cutout of the tummy will go your feet. Up here we have about a sewing line of 1/2 of an inch. So you'll have to lower your eye in this area, your other pieces of felt there, and your beak. Everything has to be touching each other. You don't want any space in between. So if it helps you, you can fold this fabric in half to try to get a center point or center line. You may want to finger press it, which means just going over with your hand, kind of pressing down on it a couple of times, and that will leave you a crease. We don't want to use the iron because we don't want to set a permanent crease in your pillow. Okay, you can kind of see a line there. Take a look at the diagram that I have on the board and kind of guesstimate where your pieces will go. Remember, we have a 1/2 inch from there to there and maybe a little bit more space. And you just go ahead and place the eye there, pin it down, and do the same thing to the other eye. Be sure that they're touching each other. Pin it down. The black portion of the eye is a little in, and if you want to, what you can do after you pin one down is just go ahead and pin that one down. Take the pin out, place the other piece here backwards, so we want to put it there instead. But you want to try to even it up to make it look just like this one. And you also have your pupil, your 2 white pieces of felt, and that's going to go right about there. So you can take your pin out again, just kind of hold it down, stick it through all the layers of felt, the blue fabric, and then force it back up again. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead later and then I'll put another white one over here as well. Underneath the eye will be your beak. So go ahead, place that right against. If you overlap it a little, it's not a big problem, but just be sure there's no space in between. And pin your beak down as well. And then for the feet and the tummy, I'll turn it around so you can see. We'll go ahead and place it again mostly in the center. Pin it down so it doesn't move. I would put probably 2 pins in just to keep it more centered so it doesn't move around on the bottom as well. You take your feet and you just have to see what direction they go in. Okay, and you want to keep them to the edge. Again, you can overlap your felt a little bit. Go ahead and pin it down. Take the other foot and depending on how you cut it, you just kind of overlap a little bit. If you cut it and it didn't come right to the edge, that's fine, but you don't want to see any blue showing through, like in this area right here where I have it. Kind of may overlap it a little bit. So there we have the feet pinned on. We have the face pinned on. Remember, don't forget your other white part of your eye. The next thing that we're going to do will be sewing on the felt pieces, and I will show you how to do that.